Welcome to Gaming on a Budget. Today we bring you Escape, Fighting for Freedom from Taban, something like that, miniatures, however you pronounce it. This is a 1 to 4 player tactical miniatures game, though it really breaks down into the versus mode, if you will, or the standard mode, where it's a 2-player game, humans versus machines, or the Resistance versus the ISC. And then there's the co-op version, which can be played from between 1 to 4 people. Now, Escape has some interesting little mechanics to it. You take the included dry erase marker to mark your actions and hit points as you use them. Now, Escape, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told the Pathfinder adventure card game. I am not drawing on my game materials, even if it wipes off. So, I have opted to sleeve the cards. I am less particular about drawing on sleeves. So, it works out just as well that way. I haven't tried to see how well it wipes off the cards. I'm just not willing to take that risk with my game bits. So, essentially, what we're going to be showing you today is the standard mode, or adventure mode, or whatever it's called, wherein 2 players duke it out in a particular scenario, the results of which will determine what the next scenario in line is. Now, this game claims on the box to be playable in 30 minutes, and amazingly enough, it actually is. This is a quick and brutal game, considering all the miniatures and fancy bits. It plays out amazingly quickly, and setup is nearly non-existent. Really, all you do is you take turns placing out equipment and crates, and, that's pretty much it. You choose your team of people, though the base game only includes the people for this team right here, which is odd given that there's much more monster choices in the game, but you can't actually choose them because of the way the point system works. I would need to be able to change up my party for the ISC to be able to change up its party. Now, I kickstarted the game, so I have materials that I could use to swap everything around, and I believe most of it is going to be for sale later. So, with a little bit of expanding, you could take full advantage of the system in place. However, in the base game itself, not so much. You're kind of limited on your initial choices. Yes?
If I read the rulebook right, some of the characters are available as downloadable content. Like you
Oh,
can
you're
print out a
right.
player.
Supposedly, you can download the character sheets for some of the other characters and such. But we're just working off what will be in the retail box, unless we missed something, which hopefully we didn't, but maybe. Anyway, so the basic rules of the game are that on a character's turn, they have a particular number of movement actions, of combat actions, and intelligence actions. These are going to be, for movement, things like moving and opening and closing doors, and interacting with the little tokens here. Combat actions will be mostly for attacking, though there are some characters who can do other things with their combat actions. And then intelligence actions, which will be things like hacking doors, for example. Now, the scenario itself is going to tell you what your particular objectives are for the round, but by and large, you're going to be either entering the board through airlocks indicated on the board, or you will be starting in particular positions and going from there. Now, the game is driven through 6-sided dice. Most any check you will be undertaking involves rolling a 6-sided dice, sometimes opposed, sometimes not. Now, this is a game by a miniatures company, so the figures are fairly detailed. They're not quite perfect recreations of the game art, but most of them are pretty close. We're pretty happy with most of them, right?
Yes.
Yes. They can't see you nod back there, sweetie. Pretty happy with them by and large. There are some interesting ones from the Kickstarter that this beast, for example, the Puppet Master, utterly enormous and remarkably detailed. Though, unfortunately, there's also detail inside the little cockpit there that my camera wife informs me will be somewhat difficult to paint. But, you know, she's always managed to amaze me with her capabilities before. So, at any rate, focusing on the base game materials, the game will play out through alternating turns. We're going to start each round by rolling for initiative. You know, you combine the intelligence of everyone on the board and roll a dice. Whoever's total is higher goes first. Then we'll roll for a random event for the round, and these are fairly significant things, these random events. They are, oof, they can make or ruin your day. They're a big deal. Then we will take turns, depending on initiative, each person activating one dude. Then the other person gets to activate a dude, and so on and so forth until we're both out of dudes. Then we will go on to the next round. Now, this is a fairly large, fairly pretty board that I'm pretty happy with all in all. It's double-sided. I can't remember if the tiles came in the base game. I don't think they did. But I believe they will be available later. So, at any rate, we'll cover any rules we didn't know as they come up. Things like stepping onto a thing to pick it up, you can only carry one thing at a time, so on and so forth. So without further ado, let us get on to the gameplay.